Well, earlier this week, Manny Pacquiao became a congressman in his native Philippines, and it's been confirmed that he'll fight again in November. But will it be that contest that Richie was hinting at that everyone wants to see against Floyd Mayweather? Any chance of that, Mike?
Well, I think the most positive thing we can say this week is that so far, since Mayweather beat Mosley and since the events in the political lives of the Filipinos this week, there's been no abuse or insults traded by the two camps, and Bob Arum has said just yesterday that he's going to do all he can to make this fight happen, Bob Arum being Manny Pacquiao's promoter, and that's a very different tone to the one we were hearing from him just a few weeks ago after Manny Pacquiao's last fight over in Texas. As for Mayweather, Richard Schaefer of Golden Boy Promotions was negotiating on his behalf right at the outset earlier this year for the fight that didn't happen in the end, and he told me here in New York this week what he thinks is the best way to make this big showdown happen.
One of the factors which, in my opinion, killed the fight the first time around was the fact that the media was too much involved. Almost every single move was analyzed and was written about, and as a result, fighters and promoters and trainers and so on, everybody started to form opinions and statements and was digging their heels in, and in the end it became such a bitter negotiation that nobody was willing to move, that the fight fell apart. So I do think that that's not now, but when and if the time comes when negotiations in fact do start, that these negotiations are going to be done in a private manner without involving the media.
So it could be that everything goes quiet and then we'll get an announcement.
Exactly.
That would be the best way.
I think that would be the way.
Do you think that's the only way?
I think it's the only way because I just don't see anything change otherwise.
Well, Mike and Steve, what did you make of that, Steve? We've been hearing that.
First of all, he's a lovely man, Richard Schaefer, but I keep thinking about that expression Bob Arum said years ago, you know when a boxing promoter or manager's lying because his lips are moving. To suggest that the media somehow ruined that fight when Richard Schaefer and Bob Arum were both feeding their respective media outlets is a little bit ridiculous, Mike.
Yeah, it is. But I think what the point he's making, Steve, is that he's been told, probably by Bob Arum, that let's do everything in-house now and let's not carp, through different areas of the media. And Freddie Roach was sat with us here for half an hour, and we said to him, look, do you want to hang around and talk about the possible fight between Pacquiao and Mayweather? And he said, I've been told to shut up. Good. Everyone around has been told to shut up so they can just sit behind closed doors and get this done. And there's a definite feeling here this week, believe me, that they really want this fight done and they want to get rid of every possible hurdle.
It's going to get done, Mike.
That's the sense here, no question about it.
Yeah. As soon as I hear you telling me it's being done in private, and Freddie, for once in his life, didn't want to talk about something involving Pacquiao, I know it's going to be done because that's a first.
Because, I mean, it fell foul of all sorts of obstacles, didn't it, originally?
Called innuendo.
Yeah.
It fell foul of unbelievable accusations based on the fact that the guy had a great six-pack and the guy's got power and he'd moved up in weights. And, of course, it's been proven that Floyd Mayweather had actually moved up in more weights and had started lighter at point A and had finished heavier at point B than Manny Pacquiao. And yet that was an accusation thrown at Manny Pacquiao. And somewhere inside that accusation was some kind of absurd fact almost that he was a steroid cheat. And of course no one ever threw the accusation back at Floyd Mayweather, who in theory could have had the accusation thrown at him. It was tacky, it was nasty, and it was done in public. It was like a savage and awful divorce. It really was.
So is that the kind of thing, Mike, that they will talk about behind closed doors, that in the end they say, right, let's not talk about this in public and then we can get it sorted between us?
Yes, what I'm told here, there are two issues that have to be resolved and this fight can be made. 50-50 parity, that's what they both want. And on the other side, it's blood testing. And what type of blood testing? And there is a hope that both fighters will agree to testing carried out by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. It won't be as rigorous as the Olympic-style testing that Mayweather was insisting on last time. But for his most recent fight against Shane Mosley, they were both blood tested and urine tested by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, a total of 17 or 18 times between them. And the feeling is now that that's happened once, and maybe the Nevada State Athletic Commission can get involved again. Those are the two issues, 50-50 parity on the purse and the blood testing as much as the urine test. And if they can be resolved, the fight will happen, and the dates we're hearing here are November the 6th or November the 13th.